Hello, this is Monero from Underrated Hardware, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Lattepanda Alpha 864. Here's the box. It has the specs on the side. It has 8 gigs of RAM, supports 4K video output, and has a 7th generation Core M3. Okay, let's get to it. It's a simple box, kind of like the original one. Here's the original box for comparison for the first generation. This box is quite a bit bigger. Okay. Ooh. Get this out of here for you all to see. Wow, that looks nice. It's relatively big. It's like I don't know what to compare it to. The original one's box it's bigger than that just by itself, pretty much. It's about probably a good 30% bigger. Okay, let's see what else in the box, and then we'll get to this part. Okay, here's the user manual for it. Let's see if it has anything interesting. Basically, getting started. Some pinouts, that's pretty handy. And more pinouts, that's nice. Okay. Okay, the power brick, it's a pretty big thing. Is there any prongs for it? That's funny. Hey, we got the, I think these are EU prongs. I don't need those here in the US. Here's some US prongs. What else we got here in the box? Looks like some kind of hard to tell. It looks like they're vinyl standoffs and screws for the board. That's always nice to include. We have 2 different antennas. Look like they're the same one, so probably for the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Also in the box, we have 2 stickers. Wow. I guess at this price point, you gotta include stickers. Okay, let's get over to pulling this thing out of here. And that power brick is big. I mean, compared to the computer, it's pretty big. This is USB-C power delivery. It's got a USB-C connection. It basically varies its voltage for the situation. Looks like it puts up to, it can do up to 20 volts at 2.25 amps. That's quite a bit of power. That's a good, I forgot how many watts that is. I think it's like 30 something watts. So that'll be able to power quite a bit of accessories on this thing. The power consumption of this is a lot more than the original one. That's why they don't have micro USB input, because it uses way more power. And USB-C power delivery allows more power to be driven to the board. The fan, they're relatively slim. Let's pull it out of here. Ooh, don't want to drop that. It's expensive. Waiting 5 months to hold this thing. Try to get a good view here. Low profile fan, kind of like one on a laptop. And okay, it says the Alpha, and this is the 8 gigs of RAM here. We have 3 USB Type A's, USB 3.0. We have I think it's a 50 pin output with labeled headers. That's really nice, really good for projects. There's looks like a power switch header. It looks like a SW down here. See if we can focus on that. And so I guess that allows a power switch that's not on the board to power it up. Now it looks like there's an RTC battery built into the board, so no little short cable, pigtail cable. So this should know what time it is. At least remember what it is once you set it. The board's so thin that the Ethernet port is actually embedded in the board. It's actually slightly below, mostly on the top side. So there's the USB-C. It also supports DisplayPort. Then there's a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. It also supports microphones and HDMI. It's the protocol that supports 4K, and that is gigabit Ethernet. Apparently in the BIOS you can control the fan. That's what I heard. And I guess that's a power switch down here. The Arduino onboard has its own reset switch down here. Okay, anything else to note? There's also a DC power input in. I'm probably going to be using this on a later project. I'm going to have an ATX power supply, have an adapter to whatever this is, and then powered off that, and probably put an RX 580 or maybe one of the new AMD cards with it. And there's more. Both sides have pins. These are Arduino. It's labeled that. ISP, and I guess it looks like some BIOS related pins for like functionality. It looks like you can these are output pins, and this looks like for an external RTC battery if you wanted one, but I think there's one there. Okay, on the bottom of the board, and that's a small Wi-Fi card. Here's the Intel Wi-Fi card. It's really tiny. It's about the size of my pinky fingernail. And this is AC Wi-Fi. Then there's a micro SD card slot. You can add on to your capacity, because remember this only has 64 gigs internal storage, and Windows takes up a good chunk of that. There's a display out and like a touch interface here. And I believe that looks like it looks like the same type of connectors as the original first gen Lattepanda has. But the screen's already stuck to that. These generally aren't removable once you get the display in. Yeah, I found out that hard way. And here's the M.2 M key with PCI Express 4X. So you can put an eGPU or an M.2 drive for like NVMe storage. Here's the back end of the CPU. You can see some of the capacitors, resistors down there. And then there's M.2 E key. It's not quite as useful, but you can put like a LTE card on it for like a 4G if you wanted to. And over here, what is that? I don't remember what that is. That connector. And it's some sort of interface. I gotta remember what that is. Looks like, I don't know what it's for. I'll have to look that up. There's a lot of connectivity on this board. And it looks like this is a revision 2 board. I wonder if there's a manufacturer date on it. Well, I guess we gotta get to firing it up. Okay, now I'm plugging in the power. So we get some life out of it. Ooh, we got a blinking red light over here. Okay, let's see what it says here. I'm not familiar with it yet. So I guess it wants to sit here. I guess when the blue LED turns off. And I'll just hit the power button. It's probably still initializing. I gotta wait. So yeah, everything's all plugged in. Okay, we have a boot screen. Same as the original. Took us a minute to hold down the power button long enough the first time before it decided to turn on. Okay, it's down there. Seems relatively fast compared to the first gen. Okay, this is the first boot. Oh, it's got all that fun stuff. Okay, the task manager. See if it loads up quick enough. I guess this CPU is doing something right now. Yes, we do indeed have 8 gigabytes of RAM. Using 20% of it right now. Oh, it's a SanDisk storage on board. That's pretty good. It's a name brand storage. And this is eMMC 5.0. So it should be quite a bit more. Be a bit more speed than the original Lattepanda. And I don't have any of that turned on or connected. And have that Intel HD Graphics 615, which supports 4K video. And I guess the CPU is throttled down right now. Huh. And we have our Arduino application. See if we can talk to the GPIO. I think this is Leonardo. Let's see what it is. I think you have to change it here. I think it's Leonardo, but it could be something else. I don't remember exactly. Well, it appears to work. We're going to have benchmarks and other stuff in a later video as soon as we get this up to date. And I believe that's it. It seems fully functional. And it should be great for an eGPU. I mean, this CPU is not doing much. So you got quad core. Huh. Well, thanks for watching. If you would like, you can subscribe, or, you know, you can see more videos I'm going to have being put up. And FYI, the fan is just not running right now. You can't hard to see it in this. It's just not going, so I guess it's not hot enough. I guess I'll feel it here. It is relatively warm, so on top of the heatsink cover there, it is quite warm, but I guess if it gets warm enough, it'll kick on the fan. And maybe we can, I guess, check out the BIOS in a later video. And see you next time on Underrated Hardware.